Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another disturbing Jay Slater video. As most of you guys will be aware, Ayub done a podcast with the Central Club. Ayub was supposedly giving his side of the story, what actually happened on the night leading up to going to the Airbnb and why Jay left the Airbnb in the manner that he did. Honestly, what I was hearing was a bunch of waffle and more waffle. However, I do want to shout out Cullen, the host of the podcast. He actually called me 2-3 days ago. We spoke on the phone, had an in-depth conversation about the podcast itself, about the Jay Slater situation as well. He did ask me to get in contact with Warren because he wanted Warren to know that he was releasing this podcast and it had some footage in the podcast that could be sensitive. Warren politely responded back to me saying that he wasn't interested in speaking to Cullen, but he was thankful that I had brought it to his attention. I'm not too sure if Warren's seen the podcast, but what I will do after I've done my reaction is I will send it directly to him so he can watch it for himself, because there's a number of things in this podcast that are extremely questionable. And it does look like Ayub has dug himself a hole again. All I hear is waffle, more waffle, and extra waffle with some syrup on top. Nothing but lies, giving people alibis, bringing random girls involved, girls from Nottingham. It seems like Ayub is one of those guys that makes friends with anyone and everyone. But there's a number of things that I want to bring to your attention. Expose more of these lies, because there's a number of things that he has said in this podcast that contradict things that he has said in the past. It also contradicts and conflicts with things that Lucy said, that Bradley said. Let's check this out.
How long was you in Tenerife at this time, during the time of...
At that time, like, them lot from Burnley we landed, I must have been there for like 4 days. I was there like a week prior to that. I went back England like 3-4 days, I think. I had to sort something out. It must have been something with work, because I was doing the work with the railway as well in the times. Because the railway, good thing about the railway is it's like it's flexible. You can work on your own hours, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I think I was doing one of those. But
You think you was doing one of those, or you was doing one of those?
I come back and then I think it was a Wednesday, because it was like my birthday was literally a week later. When that the whole reason Wednesday was for my birthday, and a couple of other mates that I know from there that I met, that they go up and down, do you know what I'm saying? Like, some of their families have holiday homes, some don't, some just go on holiday. But what I'm trying to say is that
He's definitely referring to one of the Burnley lot.
time I was there, like literally 2 days before they landed, do you know what I mean?
And so when you say they, who...
In the Burnley lot, I mean like Jay and his mates, do you know what I'm saying?
Jay and his mates. Okay, the Burnley lot. Well, firstly, Jay's not from Burnley. The only two people out of that crew that were from Burnley is Lucy and Brandon. They're the only two people from Burnley. He keeps referring to Jay's mate. He mentions Lucy in this. He doesn't mention Brad, and he doesn't mention Brandon. He keeps referring to Brandon as Jay's mate. Why does he refer to Brandon as Jay's mate?
From, you got to remember, like, they might say on TikTok, and all of these people, from people that don't know me or know anyone, might say, oh, yo, like randomly, it's like make it look like we found some random guy didn't lost his keys and that, but we actually knew these people in some sort.
Nobody from TikTok made it look like you found some random guy. Lucy told us that you man was strangers. She's the one that confirmed she didn't know you, not us.
Away, do you know what I'm saying? There, we've got mutual friends, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
friends.
yeah, and again, face value perception, a Somali boy from London or Northampton with a bunch of white kids from Burnley, they're going to think this ain't natural at all, like, isn't they? Like, you know, if they...
Nah, not really. What people are going to question is why a 31 or 32-year-old is hanging about with 19-year-olds. That's what people are questioning.
Don't know.
Like, yeah, that thing like something dookie going on. But sometimes these sort of situations actually do happen. Like, people actually do meet naturally, and there's no dookiness involved. Because like, even what they like, because it's not good slandering people that can't defend themselves, as in like they're not here with us no more. But the guy, like, genuinely...
Hold on, are you referring to slandering Jay? You don't need to slander Jay. There was no reason to even mention that sentence. That doesn't make any sense. You're either hanging about with people that are almost half your age, or you're not hanging about with them, and there's reasons for why you're hanging about with them. I said previously that you would be hanging about with these kids because they're your runners. I've come to realize that Brandon is the person that Ayub is referring to in this podcast. Brandon is the person that he isn't mentioning. Brandon is the person that he eventually claims in his podcast is the person that he knows longer than the 3-day period that he knew Jay for. So why and how do you know Brandon is also Jay's age? You claim that to be your boy, Brandon. Same Brandon that hasn't come out and made a statement. The same Brandon that was seen in all of Jay's pictures whilst in Tenerife. The same Brandon that was technically the last person to be seen with Jay in the footage when Jay was waved out of his face. Don't worry, we're going to get to that bit because Ayub catches himself in a lie once again. Continue watching.
Like from conversation, it's just like a apprentice in like in some sort of trade. I don't know, bricklaying or something. But
so through conversation, you got that he was apprentice in some sort of trade. You're telling me you never got that through the media. You never got that through reading what the media was saying about Jay. You got that from Jay. Jay sat there and told you that he was an apprentice bricklayer.
I'm saying you weren't like
just to let you guys know, every time he says, do you know what I'm saying? He's lying.
Involved in anything dodgy, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like people do sometimes run with
I
something.
think even Collins realized.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I'm saying?
This I was there a week that
You know what I'm saying?
time, and I landed on the Wednesday after I landed a day before Rocky, I think, or a couple of days because I think I landed a couple of hours before.
Everything's I think. Bruv, you should know if you landed with Rocky, before Rocky, if Rocky landed before you. Like, you should know. I think. Come on, bro. This is just pure cap.
Because I landed, got the car out, and I got the Airbnb out.
So you've been to Tenerife before. You know, if you're going to Tenerife on a party with the boys, you know we'd be on the strip or near the strip. Why the Airbnb in the middle of nowhere?
Good question.
You got to remember, this time I'm on my like 4th time going there. So yeah, and it's like, oh, you know, like you get the map thing. You go booking.com and you get the map thing. And I remember there was these 2 girls from Manchester who I met a week or week and a half prior.
Hold on. What happened to the map on the booking.com thing? I want to know about the map on the booking.com thing. Now, all of a sudden, we're talking about these 2 girls. Let's see what he's got to say.
To that. And none of them had driving licenses, but they wanted to go up the mountains on the quad bikes. Do you know what I'm saying? And you need your driving license for that. So they were like, I met them, then I knew them just like left as that. But they were like, message me, look, we're trying to get on the quad bikes to the mountain, Mount Teedy or whatever. And we want to go there for the sunset. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I might go other countries, but I'm not one of them cultural travelers where I'm like I might check out what's going on in the back streets, what's going on here, what you say.
Let's book the old town. I know what you mean.
Yeah, like, and every place has got an old town as well. What's the funny thing about it?
I'll be honest though, I am that geezer. Like.
Hold on. I'm going off on a tangent right now. The question was, why did you book the Airbnb in the mountains?
Each to their own, bro. Now I am saying I weren't at that time, but then these 2 girls, like, and the girl's a DJ, it's actually a proper sound girl. I still chat to her now, and because of her showing me those, like, only reason I went because I had a license, and one of them jumped on the back of my quad bike, and the other one jumped on. You know what I'm saying? And
she jumps on. You know what I'm saying? She jumps on what? Do you know what they're saying? I don't know what you're saying, bro. She jumps on. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this makes no sense. The question is why did you book the Airbnb in the Mascot Mountains? Now he's talking about some 2 girls that he met that never had a license, that wanted a quad bike, and they wanted the quad bike so they could see the sunset. So he decided to be a gentleman and get them the quad bikes because he had a license. One of them jumps on his quad bike and the other jumps on, you know what I'm saying? Make it make sense.
it was funny because on the way back, one of the quad bikes broke down and had to stand by the side of the motorway. But it was just one of
You know what? That actually happened to me in motor before.
things where, like,
But come on, this is irrelevant to the actual question.
Like, it was a cool day out. Do you know what I mean? They were a bit younger than me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really trying to come on, like, trying to graft them and that. It was just genuinely, look, we ain't got a license. We're trying to go up the mountains. And I was thinking, you know what? You know, I ain't doing nothing. Sounds like it. Let me try it out. And it was actually such a good experience that just so a week later when I left that time and come back, I thought, you know what? Let me get a place there. And I seen that place. And you've seen the views in that place, bro. Who wouldn't want to book there? Do you know what I'm saying? But
I've seen the inside of that place, and I definitely wouldn't want to book there.
that's the story behind. That's the why I booked over there. And no, and like I said,
that was just a bunch of waff. That was just a bunch of straight up waffle with syrup spread all over it.
earlier, I didn't book at 5 a.m. in the morning on the night we were driving there. I booked it 4 days prior.
I don't even believe that. I believe you booked it the day you was wearing that pink t-shirt. But don't worry, we're going to get there.
Saying,
Yeah.
I booked it on a Thursday, Wednesday. This was a Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Where did these people get this kind of information that it was booked at that time then?
Bro, I don't know. They plucked it from the sky, G. They must have plucked it from the sky. Like, at the end of the day, bro, when the 8 don't work, they start telling lies, mate. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that I am who I am, not as just in general. You got to be happy with who you are, but happy because like I had friends and that ringing me saying, "Oh, bro, you know what happened to what's her name, so and so." People take this, like people just throwing things in the air. Like I've had people say they're one of the bare disgusting
I
things.
literally don't know what he is talking about. This guy is talking a bag of nonsense. He's not saying anything. He's just talking nonsense, literally. Lucky for me, I had a guy that called me and say, "Oh, did you hear about so-and-so?" Basically, and then moves on to something else. He's actually not saying anything. He's not saying nothing here whatsoever.
Bro, things that are abhorrent, that are me personally, that I'm against. Do you know what I'm saying? That I had people saying fucking I raped him and that, bro. Are you fucking mad? Like, I'm still thinking, hang on a minute, I'm a guy who's never even raped a woman in my life.
This guy doesn't have a marble in his head, bro. Hey, why the hell did you do this interview, blood? Why did you do this podcast, bro? Are you that stupid? You're this guy. This guy.
So why the fuck would I rape a guy? Like, no,
What?
dilly,
I can't believe he just said this.
that's all. Like, that's wild. You know what I'm saying?
What you just said is wild, bro.
So people, and then I sit back and I think, you know what? They don't know you though. Do you know what I'm saying? So they are gonna say all sorts of mad and
Well, if you can't talk with clarity and give us a coherent understanding of what happened on the day when you had Jay at the Airbnb, then of course no one's going to buy into what you're saying. Of course no one's going to believe you. Right now, you're talking a bunch of waffle, bro, with extra syrup.
the people you know, you know you. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
And hopefully,
After
yeah, and hopefully this is what we're trying to do, is get people to get your side, because I know you've been itching to do this, but out of respect and that as well, and I totally get it.
Yeah, you got to remember, bro, Jay passed away, bro, in like unfortunate circumstances. Do you know what I'm saying? And you got to remember, people are grieving, so you've got to approach these sort of things with utmost respect. And
Of course.
It's like he's trying to think what to say every 2 seconds. He doesn't know what to say, bro.
and do you know what I'm saying?
I hear what he's trying to say here, though, but you wasn't approaching the thing with respect when you was doing your live stream, saying whatever you were saying, bro. Man was really cold with his answers, extremely cold, to the point where it was like, do you even care about what happened to Jay? Seems like you've got no remorse, no empathy whatsoever.
Clarity, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'll never come on here and speak bad about anyone.
You don't need to come on there and speak bad about anyone. Jay never done anything for you to speak bad about him. We're asking why you went to the Airbnb with this 19-year-old teenager, and still, up until now, you haven't been able to give us an answer.
Even if they were done bad, I wouldn't speak bad about them because, oh, bro, have a bit of respect. You know what I'm saying? Here, these are people's lives that I play, and going forward, I hope everyone the best. You know what I'm saying, mate? It's not easy. It's not easy for no one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
Doesn't sound like he means that whatsoever.
we will jump a bit more into like the conspiracies and what some of the theories are. Lucy, so you know, was Lucy someone that she's a big part of this? She was a big part that people would say you were friends with. Was this someone you knew? Was she one of the members of that kind of crew?
She's in that Burnley lot, but I knew her through one of my other pals. Do you know what I'm saying? Same way I knew Jay. I did not know Lucy any more than I know Jay.
The only pal he could have known Lucy through is Brandon. Brandon is the only other one of the crew that is from Burnley. And this footage that we see here of Jay, this is footage that Ayub allegedly sent to Cullen. Cullen told me on the phone when we spoke to each other the other day that he had 2 bits of footage that Ayub sent. This is one of them, and then we've got the other, which we're going to get to. But this one right here confirms that this is Jay before we see Jay waved out of his face. Here we can see Jay with a bottle of Hennessy in his hand. This is clearly before Jay was waved out of his face on the dance floor with his t-shirt off. This is before that. Jay didn't have his glasses on. Jay didn't have a t-shirt on at that time. So what this is confirming is that Ayub was either with Jay before that moment where we see him waved out of his face with Brandon, or Ayub got this footage from Brandon.
I don't know the other lad anymore.
I do not believe this is Jay with Ayub that night. This is Jay with Brad and Brandon and maybe Lucy, and they were filming Jay. I'm starting to think that all of this, ladies and gentlemen, was premeditated. And when I say I'm starting to think this was premeditated, no. In fact, when I initially started looking at the Jay Slater case, my first instinct was this is premeditated. They planned this before they got there. And the person that probably set this up was Brandon. And then the person that helped cover this up was Rachel, trying to ensure that Brad wasn't implicated.
Do you know what I'm saying? That they're all young lads and girls. They come out there to thingy. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I met them at the NRG the first night, because it was 3 nights. I met them at the first night, and I didn't really want to be there because I wasn't really liking the music that was playing. Do you know what I'm saying? So the next day, we all now linked up on the strip. And like, when we didn't even link up, we just randomly saw each other. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, what were you saying? You good? Took a couple of snaps and that. We took out a couple of snaps and that. And most of these videos and that, luckily, around that time, I was just taking videos, snaps, and I sent all of them to the police, and they're like in chronological order, sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? So when these lot mention dates and thingy and that, I'm like, bro, like, there's snaps for bits and pieces I was doing on that day. You know what I'm saying? That.
So there were snaps for things that you were doing on that day, but why have you never revealed those snaps to us? And you're talking about revealing those snaps to the police. How does that prove that you or someone you was associated with didn't do something to Jay? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, bro.
Corroborate with what I'm saying. So after that, this is the 3rd night. I'm just kind of zooming past all of this, just getting to the bits that make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there now, England's playing.
Clearly, that's when that footage was of Jay, because you see people in the back, I'm sure, wearing England t-shirts when Jay was drinking that Hennessy bottle. So that was early in the evening. When we see Jay waved out of his face, that was like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Clearly, Jay had a lot of Hennessy in his system, as well as other alcohol and drugs at that point.
Me, Jay, my pal that I know Jay through.
So my pal that I know Jay through, he just doesn't want to mention his name. It's Brandon.
My boy that come with me from my area.
Which is Rocky.
Rocky, I'm on about.
Yeah, you go. He mentions his name, but he doesn't want to mention Brandon.
He was there.
And quickly, the pal that you don't have to say name.
Rocky, I'm saying, innit?
Yeah, but Jay's pal that you know, how did you know him for long?
Who is he?
Like we've known each other for a while. Like, you know what I'm saying, he goes up and down there every year. You know what I'm saying,
he goes up and down there every year. What does he go up and down there every year for?
Family and friends are there. Like, it's normal. Like, it's like loads of people from the UK go to that island. You know what I'm saying?
We know this, but the question is how long do you know this guy for, and what is your relationship with this guy, basically?
And
it's a small island.
Yeah, and it's all love, do you know what I'm saying? And you go to...
Again, they always just skirting the question. He's not actually giving answers to the questions that Cullen's asking.
This is where you can get English sort of food, or you go places where you can get a curry and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go on.
So you've been in English for long, you might as well call it English food as well, do you know what I'm saying? So That's so people just see each other in them sort of places and get chatting and that, and then realize that they've got mutual friends and they actually get along. See what I'm saying? So we was there watching the England game. Me and my pal Rox was going to a different event. Them lot were going to the last night of NRG in Papagayos. See what I'm saying? And I did not go in. See what I'm saying? Because some random person again got pictured with a pink t-shirt and they're saying that was me. But that day I was wearing a grey, like beige, sand colour New Balance top and short set. Do you know what I'm saying?
Was you?
Is that the photo where you sat down?
No, that is, I was wearing a pink shirt on one of those days, but because I uploaded all those photos in one go, people were saying, oh, photos that I took in the 14th
Good
got
out there.
something to do with the 17th. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
Okay,
like,
so let's
very like,
hold on. Let's just prove this guy wrong. Let's just prove that this guy is lying right now. Let's prove that Ayub is lying. All right, so what we can see on the screen right now is a woman walking down the stairs. That woman walking down the stairs is Lucy. In fact, this is the footage from when Jay is waved out of his face. We're going to see Jay in a second. This is Lucy walking down the stairs wearing a white dress. This is 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning. That's 100% Lucy. There's Jay right there with his t-shirt off, bag around his neck, and he is waved out of his face. The next step for Jay after this is collapsing or finding a corner to sleep in. There was no way Jay found the energy and was lively again and said, you know what, I'm not going to go home with Brad and Lucy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the mountains with Ayub. If Jay went back to the mountains with Ayub, he'd done it unconsciously. He'd done it whilst he was sleeping. However, we're here to prove that Ayub was wearing a pink t-shirt the night Jay went missing. So here, look who we see talking to Lucy. Lucy's wearing the same white dress that we just see her wearing in the nightclub. Ayub is sitting across the table from her wearing the same pink t-shirt that he was wearing in that same NRG festival. In that same footage that we just saw of Jay waved where Lucy was coming down the stairs, in the top-hand corner, Ayub is standing right beside Rocky. Ayub's wearing a pink t-shirt and Rocky's wearing a white t-shirt. But here we see Ayub and Lucy together. Now let's just keep watching this for a minute, because what this is going to show us is going to show us someone else. It's going to show us someone else. Let's pause here. Do you see this guy right here at the back with a white t-shirt sitting opposite the guy with the blonde hair, beside the guy that's standing there with his hands about to open his bag? That guy is this guy. Now remember this footage, guys. This is where Jay was giving something to the guy. We thought it was the bag. It could be sunglasses, but he was giving something to the guy. Look at the guy in the white t-shirt. That's the same guy that was sitting behind Ayub. There it is, look. It's the same Don. That's all on the same day. There's another photo going around of Ayub and Jay together where you see half of Jay's face. Guess what? Ayub's wearing a pink t-shirt in that one as well. The day you linked up with Jay was the day you was wearing that pink t-shirt. This guy we can see on the screen was there when Jay was progressively getting worse, but he was also there when Ayub was having that conversation with Lucy. But again, guys, this footage right here where Lucy is coming down the stairs, this is the footage where you see Ayub as well as Rocky standing upstairs on the platform. Can you see there's like some sort of platform up there? They were standing up top, looking down. Brandon at this point was looking around like he was looking for someone. Brandon looked like he was looking around for someone. He also looks like he's looking up to see if anyone's up there. He was looking for Ayub. He was clearly looking for Ayub at this point because he knew Jay was on the verge of collapsing. Now, if this was premeditated, it means that Brandon was involved in the plan from the get-go. It means they wanted to get Jay to Tenerife from the get-go. We got told by Haley Comet that Brad had cold feet. What did he have cold feet about? Was Brad under pressure because Brandon put him under pressure? And Brandon was putting him under pressure because he knew he had the support from Ayub and Rocky and whoever else was involved? It's funny how Lucy was the first one to come out and report Jay missing, not Brad, not Brandon. Ayub basically confirms that him and Brandon are the ones that have been friends for quite some time. So if Lucy's the one that come out and reported Jay missing and Lucy wasn't there, would it make sense that Brandon called Lucy to let Lucy know what happened to Jay, knowing that Brandon and Lucy are the ones with the stronger ties out of the whole circle? Ayub threw Lucy under the bus. Lucy never come out to rectify that because she was happy to go along with what Ayub was saying. Ayub was really a stranger, and if Ayub was really a fraud making stuff up, then why wouldn't Lucy come out and say, actually, I don't know Ayub. I only met Ayub 3 days ago. I don't know why Jay would have went to the Airbnb with them. She would have come out and said all of that. But Lucy has been thrown under the bus and still kept her mouth zipped. Why? As I said, this podcast was over 2 hours long, so I'm going to stop it here, and then I'm going to bring you a part 2. There might even be a part 3. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I need to know exactly what you are thinking right about now. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the Central Club, turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.